Hi, hello, welcome to Vidyapeedam. This is Nitya, and today we are going to discuss about circulatory system. And the circulatory system consists of heart, blood, and blood vessels. We know that the circulatory system is one of the most important process in our body, and the heart is the very busiest organ of our body because the human heart functions throughout a person's lifespan. And the first one is the heart, and the study of heart and its disease known as cardiology. Heart is the busiest organ of the body. It is located slightly left of the middle in the chest. So it is located left of the middle in the chest, and the general knowledge about heart and the function of the heart is heart pump oxygenated blood to the body and deoxygenated blood to the lungs. So oxygenated blood to the body and deoxygenated blood to the lungs. The weight of a heart is 300 gram. Normal heartbeat rate in a human is 72 per minute. Especially in males 70 to 72 per minute, and in females 78 to 82 per minute. The newborn baby heartbeat is 120 to 140 per minute. The fetus is 200 per minute. So the heartbeat controlled by the brain, and the part is medulla oblongata. Next one, the structure of heart and the membrane envelope around the heart. It is a double layered membrane. It is called pericardium. So the human heart is very delicate and very sensitive. So it need a extra protection. So it envelope around the heart is a double layered membrane that is called pericardium. In between these two layers, a fluid is present which is called pericardial fluid. Okay, the covering structure of a human heart is pericardium, and it is a double layered membrane. In these two layers, a fluid is present that is called pericardial fluid. And the function of a pericardium and the pericardium fluid is it protects mechanical injury and shock. So it protects our heart from injury and shocks, and they keep heart moist for its proper functioning, and it provides lubrication and reduces friction during heartbeat. The first one, it protects from mechanical injury and shock. Second one, keep our heart moist for its proper functioning, provide lubrication and reduces friction during heartbeat. These are the functions of a pericardium and pericardial fluid. As you can see in this picture, the heart is divided, has 4 distinct chambers and 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. So the upper part of the chamber are called auricles or atrium. So the upper parts of the chamber is called atrium or auricle, and the lower part of the chambers are called ventricle. Okay, the upper part of chambers are called auricles and the lower part of the chambers are called ventricle. In auricles, there are 2 auricles are there. First one, right auricle, and second one, left auricle. The same type, there are right ventricle and left ventricle. Okay, human heart is divided into 4 chambers, namely 2 ventricles and 2 atrium or auricles. Okay, 2 upper chambers are called auricles and 2 lower chamber are called ventricles. So the ventricles are the chambers that pump blood, and the atrium or auricle are the chambers that receive blood. So the ventricle pump the blood and the auricles or atrium receive the blood. Okay. As you can see in this picture, there is a separation for left ventricle and right ventricle, that is called interventricular septum. this part is the intraventricular septum, and the same way there is a separation between left auricle and the right auricle. There is a interatrium septum. This place is called interatrium septum. Is it clear now? So next one is blood vessels. Three major blood vessels in our human heart. First one artery, second one vein, third one capillaries. And the artery is the blood vessels that carries pure blood, and it carry blood away from heart to rest of the parts of our body. Artery carry pure blood and it carry blood away from the heart to rest of the body parts. Okay, artery is a blood vessel that carries pure blood and it carry blood away from the heart to rest of the body parts. Next blood vessel is vein. The blood vessel carries impure blood. So vein carry impure blood and it collect blood from different parts of the body and brings to heart. There is just opposite to the artery. It carry impure blood and it collect blood from different parts of the body and brings to heart. The next one is capillaries. This is the blood vessel that connect arteries and veins, and the connection between arteries and veins, that is capillaries. The next one is blood vessels entering to heart. There are 4 blood vessels which are entering to the heart. First one superior or anterior vena cava, second one inferior vena cava, third one coronary veins, fourth one pulmonary veins. As you can see in this picture, this is the superior vena cava and this is the inferior vena cava, and this pipe is pulmonary vein. And the superior vena cava or anterior vena cava, it brings blood from upper parts of the body to the heart. And the inferior vena cava is, it brings blood from lower parts of the body to the heart. It's just opposite. In the superior vena cava, it brings blood from upper body parts of the body to the heart, and the inferior vena cava, it brings blood from lower parts of the body to the heart. Next one, the coronary veins, and it carry deoxygenated blood from the muscle of the heart. Okay, it carry deoxygenated blood from the muscles of the heart. Okay, and the pulmonary vein, there is a right pulmonary veins and the left pulmonary veins, and it always carry blood from lungs to heart. Okay, it carry lungs to heart, blood from lungs to heart, and it is the only vein that carries pure blood. Okay, the pulmonary vein carry the pure blood. There are 4 blood vessels which are entering to the heart. First one superior or anterior vena cava, second one inferior vena cava, third one coronary veins, and the fourth one is pulmonary veins. Is it clear now? The next one is blood vessels leaving from the heart. There are 3 blood vessels leaving from the heart, which is pulmonary artery, aorta, and coronary arteries. What is pulmonary artery? It's carry blood from the heart to the lungs. So it carry blood from the heart to the lungs. And the aorta is the largest blood vessel or largest artery in our human body, and it is pumped blood different parts of the body. So it pumped blood different parts of the body. Next vessel is coronary arteries. It supply blood to the muscles to the heart. It supply blood to the muscles of the heart. There are 3 blood vessels leaving from the heart: pulmonary artery, aorta, and coronary arteries. So pulmonary artery, it carries blood from the heart to the lungs, and aorta, it is largest blood vessels or the largest artery in the human body, and coronary is supply blood to the muscles from the heart. And the next one is valves of heart. There are 4 valves in our heart. So the blood flows from artery to ventricle or auricles to ventricle, and it flows only one direction, that is unidirection, because of these valves. The first valve is pulmonary valve. It is located in the pulmonary artery begins. Aortic valve, it is located in aorta begins. Bicuspid valve, it is present in the junction between left auricle and the left ventricle. It is not, or it is short form of left ventricle. Okay. Tricuspid valve, it is present in the junction between right auricle and the right ventricle. And the next one is the type of circulation or double circulation. The circulation of blood in human heart is double circulation. Okay. The pulmonary, there are 2 circulation, that is pulmonary circulation and the systematic circulation. What is pulmonary circulation? Generally it's lungs and the heart. The circulation between the lungs to the heart. Okay. It is the portion of circulation responsible for carrying deoxygenated blood away from the heart to the lungs and then bring oxygenated blood back to the heart. The first, deoxygenated blood away from the heart to the lungs and then bring oxygenated blood back to the heart. That is pulmonary circulation. The second one, systematic circulation. It is another portion of circulation where the oxygenated blood is pumped from the heart to every organ and deoxygenated blood comes back again to the heart. Okay. First, the oxygenated blood is pumped from the heart to every organ and deoxygenated blood comes back again to the heart. That is systematic circulation. The next one is circulation of blood in heart. The first, the right atrium receive blood from superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, and it is a deoxygenated blood of upper and lower parts of the body. And the right atrium passes the blood to right ventricle. Once the blood is filled up with, the right ventricle passes the blood to pulmonary artery, and this pulmonary artery would take it to the lobes of the lungs, and the lungs has enough oxygen because we inhale oxygen, and this oxygen diffuse into the blood capillaries and the oxygenated bloods come to the pulmonary vein, and the pulmonary vein carry this blood to left auricle. When the left auricle contracts, the blood flows to left ventricle. Once the left ventricle fill up with oxygenated blood, and it passes to aorta, and this aorta and its branches pump into different body parts and the remaining body parts. Okay, and this oxygenated blood pump into rest of the body parts. First, the right atrium receive blood from superior and inferior vena cava, and it passes to right ventricle. The right ventricle passes to the pulmonary artery, and the pulmonary artery carry these deoxygenated blood to lungs, and there the oxygen diffused to that blood, and it passes to the pulmonary vein, and the oxygenated blood carry pulmonary vein to left artery and flow to left ventricle. The left ventricle pump this blood to aorta, and aorta pump the oxygenated blood to rest of the body parts. Clear? And the next one is blood circulatory system, and the blood is made up of plasma and blood cells, and the plasma is 60% and the blood cells is 40%. And what is plasma? It's a fluid portion of blood, and it contains 92% of water and albumin, globulin, protein, hormones and clotting factors. Okay, and the blood is a connective tissue, and the hormones are transported by blood, and the blood is also known as river of life. Okay, and the blood proteins are albumin, globulin, fibrinogen are the proteins of blood, and the blood proteins secreted by liver, and the plasma protein which help in clotting of blood, and the plasma protein which helps in clotting of blood is fibrinogen. Plasma protein which act as a antibodies is globulin. Plasma protein which control blood pressure is albumin. The clotting of blood is fibrinogen. Acting as a antibodies is globulin, and which control blood pressure is albumin. And the next one is the blood group. Blood groups and Rh factor are discovered by Karl Landsteiner. Okay, blood group and Rh factor are discovered by Karl Landsteiner. Antigens are these substances which are capable of stimulating the formation of antibodies. There are two antigens, A and B, in the blood in our four blood groups, namely AB, AB and O. In the blood group A, the antigen A and the antibody is B. In blood group A, antigen is A and the antibody is B. And the B blood group, antigen is B and the antibody is A. In AB blood group, the antigen is A and B and there is no antibodies. Next blood group is O, and there is no antigen, and the antibodies A and B. Blood group without antigen is O group. Blood group without antibody is AB group. Universal recipient is AB group. Most common is blood group is O positive. Rarest group is AB negative. Blood group is decided on the basis of Rh factor. Okay, there are four blood groups: A, B, AB and O. Blood group without antigen is O. Blood group without antibody is AB group. Universal recipient is AB group. Most common is blood group is O positive. Rarest group is AB negative. And the blood group is decided on the basis of Rh factor. Blood cells. The blood cells are three types. One is RBC, WBC and platelets. RBC is a red blood corpuscles, or it is called erythrocytes. WBC is a white blood corpuscles. It's a leukocytes. Platelets is also known as thrombocytes. So RBC is red blood corpuscles and it is called erythrocytes. WBC, it's a white blood corpuscles, it's a leukocytes. Next one, the platelets is also known as thrombocytes. Okay, blood is a red color due to the presence of the iron containing pigment. It is hemoglobin. Due to hemoglobin, the blood is red color. Hemoglobin help in transportation of oxygen. The function of RBC is oxygen and carbon dioxide transportation. Lifespan of RBCs is 120 days. okay, and produced in bone marrow and destroyed in liver and spleen. It's very important. The lifespan of RBC is 120 days. It's produced in bone marrow, destroyed in liver and spleen. Okay, the three blood cells, first one RBC, WBC and platelets. The another name is erythrocytes. WBC, the another name is leukocytes, and the platelets is also known as thrombocyte. The lifespan of RBC is 120 days, produced in bone marrow, destroyed in liver and spleen. Next one is WBC. It provides immunity to our body. Okay, it provides immunity of our body. And the blood cell is also known as barrier of our body. It's a barrier of our body. And the lifespan of WBC is 15 days, and it is produced in bone marrow, lymph gland and spleen. It is produced on bone marrow, lymph gland and spleen. Okay, and the next one is platelets. It helps in blood clotting, and the lifespan is 4 to 7 days, produced in bone marrow. Okay, WBC provide immunity to our body. There is no color. Lifespan is 15 days, and it is produced in bone marrow, lymph gland and spleen. Next one, platelets. The lifespan of platelets is 4 to 7 days, produced in bone marrow, and it is help to blood clotting. The content of RBC in blood is 10%. The organ known as blood bank or reservoir of blood in the body is spleen. The organ known as blood bank or reservoir of blood in the body is spleen. The portion of RBC and WBC in human body is 60:1. Inability of clotting of blood is called hemophilia. That is Christmas disease. Inability of clotting of blood is called hemophilia or Christmas disease, and the vitamin which is help to clotting of blood is vitamin K. Vitamin K which is help to clotting of blood.